You have to keep attacking.
Rage. Nothing gets more shit done than that emotion of rage.
The enemy has to know he is not going to give up. You must break the soul of whatever the fuck is in front of you.
Yep. We like to say, no, freedom and light is the one that carries it. Man, I don't know. That's maybe too evolved for us to really grab a hold of. Rage and anger and revenge are mighty powerful emotions.
That's what I realized. I was never breaking the soul of anything in front of me. So that's why I came up with the thing called Taking Souls in my book. I started to devise ways to break a soul of a human being, of an object, of whatever's in front of me. If you keep on attacking something, nothing wants to stand in front of anything. That is relentless.
This next generation is just such a fucking group of pussies, man. I just, for the small group of savages out there, run these fucking kids right over, man. Run them all over.
Can't beat hard work.
That's it. That's it. And that was always my mentality. Nobody's ever gonna fucking outwork me. So it should be yours. You out there that are listening right now, there's never been more opportunity than there is today.
You could say, I am done with this. Today is the day. Today is the day that I will look back 10 years from now and say, that was the day that everything changed. And because you took that responsibility, and because you took that responsibility, and because you became that person that you know you're supposed to become, the world will become a better place.
Two kinds of people in life. They're winners and they're losers. And the definition is this. Losers take things that happen to them and that they feel inside that suck, and they wallow, and they use it for self or outward destruction. Winners take whatever they feel it sucks, and they transmute it into things that are good for themselves and for the world. Period. End of story.
Stop complaining about the results you didn't get from the work you didn't put in. The only way to become more successful than most people is to be willing to do something most people aren't willing to do.
Stress doesn't come from hard work, for example. You can be working incredibly hard and loving it. And likewise, you can be out of work and incredibly stressed over that.
Don't be afraid to take a shot. Whatever you do right now for a living, wherever you work, you can go back and do it. If shit doesn't work, go do that again. Here's what you can't do. You can't miss that opportunity, and later on in life, nobody in this room wants to be in their deathbed going, I shoulda. Nobody wants to say I shoulda. The worst thing that can happen is it doesn't work and you go back to what you're doing now, And when you fail, when it doesn't work out, you're gonna learn a lot from that. Maybe it wasn't what you really wanted to do. Maybe it really wasn't your passion, or you made a couple of mistakes. You build yourself back up and you go for it again.
Betray your destiny and see how long it takes you to be drowning in a storm. It'll happen immediately, and of course it will, because what's calling you to be your best is exactly the thing that's pushing you forward to manifest yourself most fully in the world. It's what you need. You run away from that, the boat's going to start to rock very, very quickly. Well, and you all know that. You know that perfectly well. It's hell, all you have to do is not study for an exam that you know that's coming up to see everything the storm waters start to rise and everything start to rock. It's pretty bloody obvious.
We're not men because we face the battle and we get immediately victory every time a battle comes up. We're men because we face the battle and we stay in the battle when we feel like we're losing and we feel like we're getting beat up. But we stay in there. And we keep fighting, and we plant our feet, and we say, until death do our part, this is me, and I will fight this battle, regardless of what the battle is.
I put them all in the cookie jar because at times of hell, even the hardest men, in times of suffering, what we do is we forget how hard we really are. Because that's what suffering is. Suffering is a test. That's all it is. Suffering is the true test of life. And so that cookie jar travels in my brain. So whenever I get put in a situation where I have poopy pants, the woe is me mentality of, oh my God, life sucks, I take the 1 second decision. I step out of my life for 1 second, go in the cookie jar, pull up, oh, Motherfucker, you went 3 hell weeks and finished 2. One of those hell weeks, a guy died because it was so bad. Oh, you are a motherfucking badass.
The stress primarily comes from not taking action over something that you can have some control over.
Most things are actually significantly easier than people think they are. They just don't know how to try hard. Because the harder that you try, the easier it gets. And so it's like, if you can just learn to love what trying hard feels like, then all of a sudden it becomes unreasonable that you can't win.
If I find that some particular thing is causing me to have stress, that's a warning flag for me. What it means is there's something that I haven't completely identified, perhaps in my conscious mind, that is bothering me, and I haven't yet taken any action on it. I find as soon as I identify it and make the first phone call or send off the first email message or whatever it is that we're gonna do to start to address that situation, even if it's not solved, the mere fact that we're addressing it dramatically reduces any stress that might come from it. So stress comes from ignoring things that you shouldn't be ignoring.
The biggest risk to your future isn't your competition. It's the distractions you insist on keeping in your life rather than doing the things you know you should be doing but aren't. People delay doing things they don't like for longer than it takes to do them.
You've got to want it as bad as you want to breathe. And if you want it that bad, if you're willing to give it that much, you get a big piece of what you want. In life, and dreams do come true. Anything you want can happen and become a reality. I believe that sincerely, and I'll die on that thought, okay? And I say that not from something I read, it's from something I lived.
The Creator never intended for you to beg for anything. If He had, He would not have blessed you with full control over your own mind. If your life is not what you want it to be, you can change it. As a matter of fact, you can do anything within reason that you desire to do if you embrace the principle of applied faith and keep it directed to the attainment of the things you want and off the things you do not want.
Always keep going. Always. You know, there's been times, particularly early in my career, where it just feels like this is the end. But what I've come to find out is that, you know, no matter what happens, the storm eventually ends. And when the storm does end, you want to make sure that you're ready. And so I've really learned to put one foot in front of the other, good, bad, or indifferent, because eventually that storm passes.
Your failure, and then you're getting back up. The man who never failed has no glory. The man who fell and got back up, that's where his glory is. The man who fell 20 times and got up 21 times, that man has even greater glory.
Wow.
That man has more courage, way more courage than the guy who was so strong from birth that he never failed. There's no glory in that.